In the early 20th century, the White Star Line, led by Chairman J. Bruce Ismay, sought to dominate the Atlantic passenger trade. On March 31, 1909, they commissioned Harland and Wolff shipbuilders in Belfast, under Lord Peary and designer Thomas Andrews, to construct the RMS Titanic, part of a trio dubbed Olympic-class liners. Launched on May 31, 1911, she measured 882 feet long, weighed 46,328 gross tons, and boasted 29 boilers powering 2 reciprocating engines and a turbine, driving her to 24 knots. Her hull, reinforced with 3 million rivets, was deemed unsinkable by some. Designed for 2,435 passengers and crew, she carried just 20 lifeboats, enough for 1,178, half her capacity, a decision rooted in aesthetics over safety. On April 10, 1912, Titanic departed Southampton, England, under Captain Edward J. Smith, a veteran with 40 years at sea. Aboard were luminaries: John Jacob Astor IV, America's richest man; Margaret Molly Brown, a spirited socialite; Benjamin Guggenheim, heir to a mining fortune; and Isidore and Ida Strauss, beloved Macy's owners. The 2,208 souls included 1,316 passengers, 325 first class, 285 second, 706 third, and 892 crew. At 883 feet, her opulence dazzled. A gymnasium, Turkish baths, and a grand staircase. Gentle ocean waves, ship horn. Weather was calm as she crossed the Atlantic, bound for New York. Yet, ice warnings trickled in, 6 that day from nearby ships, ignored or downplayed by a confident bridge. The voyage promised triumph. Instead, it teetered on a frozen edge. By April 14, 1912, Titanic steamed into Iceberg Alley, 375 miles southeast of Newfoundland. The sea was glass-like, air frigid at 31 degrees Fahrenheit. Lookouts Frederick Fleet and Reginald Lee, high in the crow's nest without binoculars, scanned the horizon. At 9 p.m., a wireless message from the SS Californian warned of ice, but operator Jack Phillips, busy with passenger telegrams, brushed it off. Radio static, Morse code beeps. At 11:40 p.m., Fleet shouted, "Iceberg right ahead," his voice piercing the still night. First Officer William Murdoch ordered hard A starboard, and engines reversed, but the 46,000-ton giant turned too slowly. The collision came, a glancing blow, ice scraping the starboard side, opening 5 compartments. Thomas Andrews assessed the damage. Water poured in at 7 tons per second. Unsinkable? Not anymore. At 11:40 p.m. on April 14, 1912, the impact jolted passengers from their beds. Steel groaned as ice tore through the hull, a sound like thunder underwater. Passengers peered from portholes, seeing white bergs gleam in the moonlight. Andrews confirmed to Captain Smith. Titanic would sink in 1 to 2 hours. Orders went out to uncover lifeboats, but many doubted the need. Why abandon a safe ship? The tilt was subtle at first, decks tilting 5 degrees. Wireless operators Phillips and Harold Bride sent CQD and SOS calls, the first use of the new distress signal. Yet, the Californian, just 10 miles away, saw lights but stayed silent, her radio off. The clock ticked toward doom. By 12 a.m. on April 15th, panic spread. Lifeboats, meant for 1,178, were lowered half full. Boat 6 carried just 28 of its 65 capacity. Women and children first was a rule, but chaos reigned. John Jacob Astor stepped back, saying, "I'll wait for the next one." He never survived. Molly Brown rallied Boat 6, urging rowers onward. Benjamin Guggenheim, in evening dress, declared, "We are dressing our best and prepare to go down like gentlemen." Isidore Strauss refused a seat, staying with Ida. "We have lived together for many years. Where you go, I go." At 2 a.m., the bow plunged deeper, lights flickered. The band played Nearer, My God, to Thee as water rose. Orchestral swell, water lapping. At 2:20 a.m., she broke apart, stern rearing up, then sank. 1,500 souls lost in the icy void. At 12:15 a.m., the Carpathia, 58 miles away, received Titanic's distress call. Captain Arthur Rostron raced at full speed, arriving at 4 a.m. on April 15th. Lifeboats, adrift in 28 degrees Fahrenheit water, held 705 survivors, many hypothermic, some silent with shock. Oars creaking, faint cries. Molly Brown later said, "I tried to get them to row, but they were frozen with fear." The Carpathia's crew pulled survivors aboard, offering blankets and soup. Newspapers like the New York Times screamed, "Titanic sinks with 1,500," a headline that stunned the world. Rescue was a lifeline, but the loss haunted every saved soul. 2 inquiries followed. The U.S. Senate, led by Senator William Alden Smith, began April 19, 1912, blaming White Star Line's hubris and inadequate lifeboats. Britain's Board Trade Inquiry, starting May 2, 1912, criticized Captain Smith's speed in ice waters but cleared Ismay of cowardice. Both found Titanic's 20 lifeboats versus a needed 48. Criminal negligence. Gavel sound. Safety changes emerged. Lifeboat capacity must match all aboard. 24-hour ice patrol began, and wireless operators were mandated to stay alert. Theories linger. Coal fire weakening the hull, but evidence remains inconclusive. The toll, 1,500 dead, a maritime myth shattered. On September 1st, 1985, Robert Ballard's team found Titanic, 12,500 feet down, her bow buried in mud. Rustic-less cloak her, a tomb for 300 bodies never recovered. Memorials rose. Belfast Titanic Quarter, New York Strauss Park. Her legacy reshaped shipping. Stricter safety codes. The 1914 Salas Convention. She's a cautionary tale of hubris, resilience, and the sea's indifference. The Titanic story teaches us humility before nature and the cost of cutting corners. Her 1,500 lost lives spurred a safer maritime world. If this journey moved you, subscribe for more deep dives. Links to sources in the description. Share your thoughts respectfully below. Thank you for honoring their memory.